or small. If you want it small, you can reduce it like this, then you contour it to your waist region like this. That is if you want it to be small. But if you want it big, you can leave it the way it is, or you even add an extra extension depending on what you want. Now this is what I'm working with. Now at this point I take in 0.7 to bring out my neck shape. Now this is what I want. Now the next thing is for we to demarcate our chest pocket area. Now from this 1.7 we took, you will leave extra 1.7, that is the distance of your stitch on the armhole to your pocket is 1.7. So you mark out your 1.7, then the size of your chest pocket. This is a small size suit, so I'm making use of 3.5 for the chest pocket. So in between the 3.5 is 1.7 as well. So this is my 1.7. Then I will rule it down below my waist point. Now on this middle part of the 3.5 is where the shorter dart will be, and your dart is supposed to stop 4 inches away from your pocket. That is the short dart. It's supposed to stop 4 inches away from your pocket. So now we've gotten the neck, the armhole, the size of the pocket, our dart. Now we are done from with this upper region. Now we are back to the waist point. Now for we to get the waist measurement on this part, we got 5.2 on this point. So now you mark out your button allowance 1 inch first. After you've marked out your button allowance 1 inch, your 5.2 that we got from the back, you place it on that 1 inch button allowance. You place it on the 1 inch button allowance, then you complete your measurement. This is our button allowance. This is the 5.2. Now our waist is 31. This is 15, 30. This is 15 and a half. This is 31. So with the help of this 31, we add extra 2 inches. Now this extra 2 inches we are adding is both for the dart and the seaming allowance that will be on the front part. Then we can now join it together to the top side. Now from this point you can now connect it down to the hip region too, like this. Now automatically this place, like this, is going out. This is where the shape is coming from. Now there is a division here that separates the front, the side and the back. Now that is what we are going to achieve right away. So now from this point, this is your straight point, you mark in 0.4 inch, not up to ½ inch, 0.4. You mark it out. That is where the division will come from. That is, this is where we are going to separate the back and the side from the front. Now on this waist point, you mark out 1.2 and 0.7. Then 1 inch upward. Now from this our top side, the tip of the front, you mark where your pocket position will be from. Now this is a smaller size. I'm marking 20 inches for it. For average size, you can make use of 20.5 or 21. Now this is, I'm trying to make the pocket not straight but slant. If I'm using 20, this is how it will be. If I want a straight pocket, this is how it will be like. But since I want it slant, you drop it down with 0.7 inch. This is how it is. Now from this your 0.7 slant of your pocket, you mark 0.9, not up to 1 inch, 0.9. Then from this last line of your drafting, you mark out 1.4. This one too is constant. All the points here I marked is constant. So now you connect this 1.4 to your 0.9 down to this point and your 0.4 inch. Now this is how it is. Like this. So since I've now connected the lines together, you will now, this your 0.9 you marked on your pocket slant will be connected to your 1.2 down to your 0.4. Now this place as well is going out. This is where we make provision for that. This place too is going out, and on this smaller dart, that is the short dart that is right below your pocket, you take in 0.1 from both sides. That means you are taking out 1/4 inch from this same point, just to give it additional shape, like this. Now after we are done with what we are supposed to achieve, then you can now give the down part a curve, in which you're going to mark 3.5 or 4 inch for your curve. Like this. So now, with the help of all these measurements, we've gotten to the conclusion of the front and back border is drafting. So now, before you cut, you try to cross-check your arm eye measurement. So now, the seamings or the sewing we are supposed to stitch on this dress is 0.4 inch. Now, first of all, you minus out your 0.4 inches first. You minus your sewing allowance first. Then you now measure the rest. From this point, you measure the tips. Now we are having 5 points and 4.9 on this point. Then you transfer your 4.9 down to this level, to this other place. You transfer your 4.9 from here. Then you continue. You follow it round. Now we are going to have a cut on this 0.4. On this dart point, there will be a cut here. So that means we are still going to join it back. So now this is 10.1. And if we are to minus 0.4 from 10.1, it will be 9.7. So now we are having 9.7 left. Now from this point, you're still going to mark out another 0.4, since we are holding 0.4 stitch here. Then from this 0.4, you place your 9.7. Then you continue. You continue till this place. Now we are having 18 as our arm eye. Now we are having 18 here. Now after this level, after you've cross-checked and you know the figure it gave you, then you can now go ahead and cut. So now let me show you how we cut it out. you ensure you follow up on your drafted points.